What's up, guys? My name's Stu, and today we're going to be going over what I think are the top 5 legendary ships in Star Trek Online. Cryptic started releasing legendary ships into the game about 2.5 years ago, so at this point there are a number of them in Star Trek Online. Now, all of the legendary ships are rather good, but depending on what factors you're looking for, some could be considered better than others. You could factor in stats, what the ship comes with, what other items it's bundled with, because these legendary ships always come in bundles, and most importantly, price. So I'm going to go over 5 different legendary ships and tell you why I think they are the best options for most players. Alright, the first legendary ship we're going to start out with is the Legendary Galaxy Dreadnought Cruiser, which is available in the Mirror Universe bundle. This is a legendary version of the 3-nacelled Galaxy-class Dreadnought featured in the final episode of The Next Generation, All Good Things. The ship itself is an Intel Dreadnought that also features a Lieutenant Commander command seat, a 5.3 weapons layout, and a phaser spinal lance. That command seat means this is a good choice for a torpedo build, but the Intel seating means it's also good for an energy weapon build, and this ship being a Dreadnought, it could also be set up as a good tank. So you're looking at a pretty well-rounded ship that can suit a variety of different build types. The consoles that come with this ship aren't overly impressive, but I did think it was interesting that they included the console sets from both the Galaxy Dreadnoughts and the original Galaxies. So that's the cloaking device and overload supplemental systems off the old Dreadnoughts, and saucer separation, antimatter spread, and molecular cohesion nullifier off the old Galaxies. These consoles aren't particularly powerful, but they could be useful if you're wanting to put together a build that's more authentic to the TV shows. The Tier 5 traits aren't that useful on this thing either. They're just the traits from the Andromeda and the Yamato, but the legendary trait that's exclusive to this ship is actually kinda nice. Best Hope for the Empire. It's not anything that ever shook up the meta, but it does give you a bit of bonus damage anytime you use Beam Overload or a Spinal Lance, plus some temporary hit points along with it, so it's definitely not a useless trait either. All legendary ships come with at least one new skin, and this one comes with a mirror version of the Galaxy Dreadnought, because, you know, mirror bundle. Oh, one more thing I should probably say about the ship before moving on to the rest of the bundle information. While I do believe that it is a very good ship, it is definitely not a very maneuverable ship. With a turn rate of 5.5 and an inertia rating of 25, yeah, this ship's going to feel pretty chunky. So just a heads up on that. This ship is included in the Mirror Universe bundle, which also includes the Agony Phaser Energy Torpedo, the Mirror Universe Phaser Dual Pistols, the Mirror Hakeeb Duty Officer, all of which were past event rewards, the Mirror Odyssey, Mirror Lita, Mirror Bortosk, and Mirror Romulan uniforms, all of which used to be exclusive to the Lobi store, the Mirror Porthos non-combat Rottweiler pet, which I think also used to be from the Lobi store, either that or the lockboxes, I forget which, and Mirror Universe Registry unlocks, which lets you use the ISS prefix on all Federation ships, the AKS prefix on all Klingon ships, and the ARW prefix on all Romulan ships. Without this, only actual Mirror Universe ships can use those prefixes. All of that for the price of 6,000 Zen, making this the least expensive legendary ship in the game. I actually really like this setup for a legendary bundle. Legendary ships are always released in bundles, and most of the non-anniversary legendary releases usually just include one ship and some other stuff. Though in most cases that other stuff has been a faction-specific level 65 boost for a character, which I have said in the past I don't think are worth as much as Cryptic seems to think they are. But this doesn't come with a level 65 token, this just comes with a bunch of old Lobi costumes that will be available on your whole account now. Which, I like it when they do that. Take stuff out of the Lobi store and give us a chance to get it unlocked on our whole account. Even if it's just costumes, cause, you know, this is Star Trek Online, where the true endgame is Space Barbie. Next on the list is the Legendary Scimitar Intel Dreadnought Warbird, which is available in the Legendary Romulan Warbird bundle. Now, stats-wise, this one's actually going to be pretty similar to the Galaxy Dreadnought we just talked about. Another Intel Dreadnought with a Lieutenant Commander command seat and a 5.3 weapons layout. The big differences are going to be that this doesn't have a Spinal Lance, this will have a Scimitar Battle Cloak, and a Singularity Core because, you know, it's a Warbird. The Legendary Scimitar also has more universal seating, so you're going to have a bit more flexibility in setting it up. It's more maneuverable than the Galaxy Dreadnought 2, having a turn rate of 7.5 and an inertia rating of 30. It's not a lot more maneuverable because, you know, they're both still Dreadnoughts, but it's still a bit noticeable. This having a Singularity Core means the Galaxy Dreadnought is probably a little more optimal for DPS, especially if you're wanting to do an energy weapon build, but honestly it's not going to make that much of a difference. The difference in power levels is really only something you're going to notice if you're getting into the high-end DPS chase. The Legendary Scimitar also comes with 2 different console sets. The one from the old Tier 5 Scimitars, and the flagship technology sets that's usable on all the Tier 6 flagships, which that's any T6 version of the Scimitar, Odyssey, or Bortus Q. The Tier 5 consoles are a little more than a gimmick these days, only really suitable for a theme build, but some of those Tier 6 consoles are actually pretty good. I actually used some of that set for my build on the Lexington, and would still fit well on this ship too if you're going for an energy weapon build. The Legendary Scimitar also has some decent traits on it. Supercharged Weapons is useful for building up some crit chance and crit severity, and the ship's legendary trait, She's a Predator, is great for generating bonus damage for ships with a battle cloak. The Scimitar comes from the Legendary Romulan Warbird bundle, which is priced at 12,000 Zen. Most of the non-anniversary legendary bundles are also at this same price, however most of those come with one legendary ship and a level 65 boost, which I've said many times on this channel, I am not a fan of those level 65 boosts. However, this bundle, being at the same base price, did something a little different, because this bundle includes a second legendary ship, the Legendary Dideridex. Plus this coupon also includes a 100% off coupon, so now it's technically 3 ships, plus a pair of T6X tokens and a pair of ship slots, 4 Infinity Promo Duty Officer packs, which have a small chance to drop a promo ship, and a bunch of Romulan-themed costumes that are also available individually in the C-Store. This was another setup for a legendary bundle that I really liked. While it is still twice the price of the Legendary Galaxy Dreadnoughts bundle, this one's actually worth it because it at least comes with 2 legendary ships, plus a third non-legendary ship if you count the coupon. The Legendary Scimitar is a good ship that can support a variety of different builds, much like the Galaxy Dreadnought, plus it comes with the Legendary Dideridex, which is also a nice ship if you like energy weapon builds, and it comes with a really nice trait. And a lot of the extra stuff in the bundle isn't bound, so if you don't like it, you can just sell it for EC. So yeah, good bundle, would recommend, and I hope we get other legendary bundles like this in the future. Moving on to number 3 on the list, the Legendary Jem'Hadar Vanguard Pilot Attack Ship. This is a legendary version of the old Jem'Hadar attack ship from Deep Space Nine. It's a pilot escort with a Lieutenant Commander Intel seat with a 5-2 weapons layout, and it's a Vanguard ship so it will also have the wingman mechanic. Normally I'm not a huge fan of pilot ships because that means pilot seating, but that Lieutenant Commander Intel seat goes a long way to improving this ship. Plus it's a Vanguard ship and I'm a big fan of that wingman mechanic. It's small, maneuverable, and good for an energy weapon build, especially Polaron because it's a Vanguard ship. The ship only comes with one console because while there were technically 2 versions of the T6 attack ship, both of them were basically the same ship but with slightly different seating. They even came with the same console and Starship trait. The console's okay, it doesn't have a particularly useful click ability, but its passives do buff crit chance and crit severity, which is always good for a damage build. Both Starship traits are really interesting on this ship because both of them are extension traits for certain firing modes. The first one being Go for the Kill, which is the extension trait for cannon rapid fire. Before this ship came out, that trait was only available on the old Jem'Hadar Recon ship and Strike ship, both of which were promo ships, so this trait used to be very difficult to obtain. But having this legendary ship means you can have it unlocked on your whole account. The Legendary Starship trait on this thing is called Vanguard Specialists, and this one extends the duration of all specialization firing modes. So if you're wanting to run a Surgical Strikes build, you're going to want this trait. The ship comes in the Legendary Dominion Captain bundle, and with the ship, this bundle includes a level 65 boost for Jem'Hadar characters, which honestly felt super redundant because Jem'Hadar already start at level 60. Fortunately, because of that fact, they at least dropped the price a little bit compared to other legendary bundles like this. This bundle is 9,000 Zen, making it the second least expensive bundle in the game. So yeah, it's a good ship with really good Starship traits. I'm not a huge fan of what it's bundled with, but it's still less expensive than most of the other legendary bundles. Next up is the Legendary D7 Intel Battlecruiser. This is an Intel Battlecruiser with a Lieutenant Commander Miracle Worker seat and a 5-3 weapons layout. Intel and Miracle Worker seating on the same ship means this is going to be really great for a Beam Overload build or a Surgical Strikes build. Honestly, none of the consoles and traits are particularly interesting on this ship, this one is here just for the ship's stats itself. Well, it's not totally true. Corbomite maneuver is kinda neat. It debuffs your enemy and makes you untargetable for a short time, and has a small damage buff for a passive, so it's not bad for solo play. The ship also comes with a few exclusive skin options. The legendary skin is the Kronos 1 skin, based off the one from Star Trek VI, but this ship also includes a skin for the Ken-class cruiser, aka the Romulan version of the D7. So technically this ship is both a Klingon ship and a Romulan ship. Despite that, the bundle is still called the Legendary Klingon Defense Force Captain Bundle, and it's called that because it includes a level 65 boost for a Klingon character. This bundle also came with an exclusive console that could be unlocked on your whole account, the Projected Stasis Beam. It disables enemy weapons and reduces their damage resistance, but it does cost 50 auxiliary power just to activate it, which is kind of a lot for such little payoff. It's not a terrible console, but it's not a great one either. But it is kinda neat because it's based off of something we see the D7 do in the old animated series. Unfortunately, because of that level 65 boost, this bundle costs 12,000 Zen, because for some reason Cryptic seems to think these level 65 boosts are worth far more than they actually are. That said, this is still a really great ship to fly. Now, it took me a little bit to decide on what number 5 of this list should be, and I'm probably still going to flip-flop on this decision at least 3 or 4 more times while I'm recording this, but I eventually decided on the Legendary Miranda Multi-Mission Cruiser, which is available out of the Legendary TOS Starfleet Captain Bundle. This is a temporal multi-mission cruiser with a Lieutenant Commander pilot seat and a 5-3 weapons layout. Being a full temporal ship means you can fit recursive shearing 3 onto this thing, which is a very powerful ability. Temporal also has a nice number of abilities that trigger unconventional systems, so if you have that personal trait, you'll be able to lower your universal console cooldowns that much quicker. So all that paired with the beam overload build, and you're looking at a pretty nice setup. Now, it's kind of common knowledge at this point that the Miranda is basically the king of Space Barbie, and that's due to the sheer number of customization options available on the Miranda types. That's the Miranda Beta, the Centaur, the Saratoga, the recently revamped Shikar, the Reliant, the Soyuz, the Malachowski, and the Clark. Having this legendary version will also unlock 2 TOS versions of the Miranda skin, one that's the standard TOS skin, and one inspired by the style used in the episode The Cage. All of that unlocked just by owning this ship. Plus, you'll also be able to use the upcoming Bozeman skin on this thing, though because the legendary version was released before the Bozeman, you'll actually have to buy the Bozeman to unlock its skin. One other thing to mention about the legendary Miranda, that since it is a multi-mission cruiser, it'll also have a hangar bay. And because this is a TOS ship, it comes with some era-appropriate pets, the Class F shuttles. The only other ship these pets are unlocked from is the Atlas Prototype Dreadnought, which is a lockbox ship. They're not the most amazing pets in the game, but the elite versions are equipped with Beam Overload 3, so they can do some pretty decent damage. The ship comes in the legendary TOS Starfleet Captain's Bundle, which is priced at 12,000 Zen. There's not much to say about the bundle itself. The only other thing inside it is a level 65 boost for TOS Starfleet Captains. So yeah, cool ship, but it's pretty much the same story as the legendary D7's bundle. Now, before wrapping up, I do have some honorable mentions I do want to bring up. First is the legendary Tallis, which comes from the legendary Romulan Captain bundle. This is a really good ship and almost made the number 5 spot, but I decided not to go with this because it's actually pretty similar to the legendary Scimitar. It's another Intel Warbird with a Lieutenant Commander command seat. It's basically just a smaller, more nimble version of the Scimitar. Both bundles are the same price, and I feel like the legendary Scimitar's bundle is a better value, mostly because the Tallis bundle comes with a level 65 boost for Romulans. Plus the list already had 3 Intel ships, it felt weird adding a 4th. Another ship that's good for torpedo builds that's worth bringing up is the legendary Vorcha Command Support Battlecruiser. This is a command battlecruiser with a Lieutenant Miracle Worker seat, which means you're going to be able to mix in Mixed Armament Synergies 1. Even at only the first level, Mixed Armament can do some decent damage. Alternatively, that means you could also go with Narrow Sensor Bands 2 if you want an energy weapon build. The ship is better suited for torpedo builds, but you still have the option. The main reason this one didn't get included with the main list is because of its price. This ship is only available in the 11th Anniversary Bundle, which has a base price of 25,000 Zen. These Anniversary Bundles have a lot of great stuff in them, but man, they are not cheap. Speaking of, you probably noticed that I didn't include any ships from the 10th Anniversary Bundle either, and that's because that thing has a base price of 30,000 Zen. Well, actually, technically, there's 2 versions of the 10th Anniversary Bundle. There's the Standard Bundle, which is 30,000 Zen, and the, quote, Premium Bundle, which is 45,000 Zen. Don't even worry about the Premium Bundle, it just comes with a bunch of crap you don't need. The Standard Bundle comes with all 10 ships and enough ship slots for each one. And while all of the 10th Anniversary Bundle ships are really cool in their own way, for these honorable mentions, I'm only going to talk about 2 of them. The first being the legendary Defiant Pilot Warship. It's a Defiant, it's a warship, it has a 5-3 weapons layout, it can do barrel rolls, and it has a little angry face on it. I kinda wish they made it secondary seat and intel seat instead of a second pilot seat, but other than that, this ship's pretty fantastic. As I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan of pilot seating, but the fact that this ship is a warship does kinda make up for that. And honestly, there are a few things in this game more fun than doing barrel rolls in a Defiant. But the other reason I wanted to bring this ship up is because this one actually has a meta Starship trait, overpowered and overgunned. It's a lot like Emergency Weapon Cycle, but you can equip them at the same time and their effects stack, so they are very valuable to have. And the last legendary ship I wanted to talk about for the honorable mentions list is the legendary Verity Command Dreadnought Cruiser. Come on, you didn't think I'd make this video and not talk about the legendary Odyssey, did you? Also available in the 10th Anniversary Bundle, this ship is a Command Dreadnought with a 4-4 weapons layout, which means it's really well suited to a torpedo build or a tank build. Remember folks, a 4-4 layout is actually better for a torpedo build because that means you have more room for mines in the back. This ship also comes with a lot of the same legacy Starship traits and consoles because they are both flagships. Now, there are 2 reasons this one didn't make the top 5 list. 1, it's only available in the 10th Anniversary Bundle, which is the most expensive purchase in the C-Store. And 2, it's because there's actually another version of the Odyssey that I like better. Which brings me to one last thing that I want to talk about, the ships from the 12th Anniversary Bundle. Unlike the previous 2 Anniversary Bundles, the ships from the 12th Anniversary Bundle were not legendary starships, but only technically. Cryptic did say during the announcement of these ships that their stats were scaled to be on par with legendary starships. So while the 12th Anniversary ships don't come with multiple consoles and starship traits from their previous versions, they were built to be just as powerful as the other legendary ships. And I own all of these ships. Trust me, not only does that statement hold up, but these 12th Anniversary ships are actually better than some legendary ships. Now, the really nice thing about the 12th anniversary ships is that they were also released individually. So if you don't want to spend 17,500 Zen for the 12th anniversary bundle, you could instead get the Lexington, Adamant, Cygnus, or Trailblazer individually for 3,000 Zen. All 4 of these are great ships, and the only reason none of them made the list is because of the technicality that none of them are actually legendary ships. Their stats are just scaled to be similar. Now, obviously legendary bundles are expensive. Even the cheapest one is still 6,000 Zen. So obviously I'm going to recommend that if you're thinking about getting one of these, do it when they're on sale. More annoyingly, these legendary bundles are often only available during limited times. Usually during the big seasonal sales like the summer sale or Black Friday or the winter sale, but these also tend to come back whenever there's a new legendary release coming out. The only exception being the 12th anniversary bundle because, like I said, since they're not technically legendary ships, they're available year-round. I'm just now realizing that the biggest takeaway of this video is probably going to be that the best legendary ships in the game aren't even actually legendary ships. Those 12th anniversary ships are just too good. So yeah, those are what I think are the top 5 legendary ships in Star Trek Online, plus some honorable mentions. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, 2 weeks after I posted this, Cryptic announces the legendary Akira, and it's a command ship, and it's a warship, and it's everything me and Augie have been wanting for the past, like, year and a half? I mean, that probably won't happen, but I can dream. I mean, it wouldn't be great for this video, because obviously that would go into the top 10, but I still want it. Anyway, let me know what your favorite legendary ship in the game is, or what legendary ships you would love to see in the future. Actually, I might end up making that into a future video. 5 ships I want to see made into legendary ships. I don't know, we'll see if I have time. Anyway, while you're down in the comments, be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, hit that join button. Either way, thank you for watching so much. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.